case anybody hasn't seen it, but Team B.A.D showed themselves to be a very good team, and a very strong one at that. So we should have some decent competition on our hands here. Tank will be spawning actually at 89%, which is quite late for this map, and also we have a 48% witch spawn, which should be about halfway through the map. And we are live. Everybody's readied up. Everybody's good to go. Jockey, Smoker, Spitter, and a Charger will be the first attack. Jockey moving in first, trying to get Nick under the head. There will be a charge spit combination onto Rochelle, as well as a separation jockey onto Nick. So we're going to see some very, very devastating damage onto Rochelle there. She just could not get out of that spit because of a common infected. And as you may or may not know, if you're hit with by a common infected, your movement speed is drastically slowed. So we saw the power of the common infected there onto Rochelle. Very good damage with the charge spit combination. Final spawn coming up in 3 seconds. So far we have a Charger, Boomer, and a Smoker. Final spawn will be a Jockey. So the same attack actually, just minus the Spitter, and instead we have a Boomer. We'll see if they attack now or if they attack with the Witch. I assume they're probably going to wait for the Witch to spawn and attack with her, but the Boomer's precariously above on the balcony, so the Witch is now triggered and remote crowned very, very quickly. The Boomer moves in and gets a quad boom, very nice quad boom onto 3 people there, and unfortunately Coach was reloading at the wrong time, so we're seeing Rochelle on 2 HP, which is not looking good for her. She may actually, if they don't find pills, she may actually have to use her medkit before the tank comes in, because, you know, she's going to go down in one punch otherwise. And as we also know, the tank is 89%, so they have to run quite a distance before they can actually trigger it, and the spawns are coming up now. Tank is coming up in the hands of Frape, as I said. There's a Smoker, Jockey, and a Hunter. Hunter landing onto Ellis temporarily. Some damage happening there. Jockey coming from the house, landing onto Rochelle and incapacitating her, so they're going to need to get her up as soon as they can. Otherwise, they might be in a difficult situation. The Smoker delays the get up. Tank is making his way onto the roof above the survivors. They managed to revive Rochelle. Going to try and land the rock there. They still have a Charger, and the survivors... Charger moving in, getting a scratch and pummels onto Ellis there. The tank's maybe going to move in on this. Ellis was so close to being in-capped there. There's a Hunter waiting and crouching down. He's going to try and pin somebody from the looks of things. He pins Rochelle, and the tank is going to cover her by throwing a rock. Doesn't connect with anybody, but he will get the final punch onto Rochelle, and she has been in-capped twice, so she will be black and white. Tank is going to retreat with 3,000, or less actually, 2,700 HP. 1 in-cap at the moment. He's going to try and land some rocks here. Boomer gets a nice rocket boom, but he is popped before he can get anybody. Smoker is cleared very instantly, so we are seeing Rochelle needing to use her medkit, most likely. Which she's not using her medkit. Coach is going to generously give his medkit away. So they're only 1 medkit up at the moment. Looking like they're going to be hiding in the house here, breaking line of sight and trying to force the tank to attack. Trying to get some curve for the balcony. They have a Hunter, Charger, and a Boomer. Tank moving in, and he's going to go inside, getting a nice double punch in the house there. Charger moving in, does not connect with anybody. The Boomer connects with 1 person, is going to try and get a proxy. He's able to get a proxy onto the in-cap survivor. Hunter still pouncing around. Charger is now shut down. Tank is on 835 HP, and there is a Hunter on Rochelle. I like the idea there, actually, trying to kill her off. He's going to try and get a curve rock, and he gets a nice curve rock through, and a triple punch onto the survivors. Absolutely phenomenal triple punch there. Perhaps they shouldn't have been as bunched up, but nonetheless, a very nice triple punch, and another solid punch onto Nick there. And there's 2 in-caps, and they're very low. It's not looking good for them. A spit's going to delay them quite a bit here, actually, although the spit spread wasn't ideal for them. Jockey tries to get in. He's M2'd, and therefore he's forced to come back out. They're going to try and keep them down here. Charger and Jockey getting a nice dual cap. There's 1 person alive with 2 HP, and 1 person standing, I should say, with what looks to be 20 HP. Yeah, 20. So I'm very surprised they survived that. They did pretty good, but obviously the spit didn't really spread ideally, so they could dodge it very easily. There is a Smoker and a Hunter up thus far. Final spawns coming up in 2 seconds, which will be a Spitter and a Jockey. So Jockey, Spitter, Smoker, and a Hunter. Tri-cap minus the Charger and minus the Boomer. Smoker's at the alarm car looking to get somebody into the alarm card. There's a jockey on coach as well as Spit, but he doesn't go down from it. They're in a very bad situation, but they are shutting down the spawns. They could actually potentially make it to the safe room. Everybody is dead, so as long as the common infected don't incapacitate anybody, they will make it into the safe room. And considering when you press tab and look at all of their healths, quite an impressive feat there. I'm surprised they managed to actually survive, which they will do just there. 65 bonus points, I mean, not huge, but the fact that they survived is phenomenal, actually. I have to give them credit for that. Exceptionally well played tank there by Frape, managing to get that triple punch. That is definitely the highlight of that tank fight. In the meantime, while we're waiting for a reconnection here, I'll just assign the tank to... It's going to be Sweet Lemonade, who, for anybody who doesn't know, is also... what's this name? Hennessy. So, that's going to be the tank. Hold on a minute. Who's Tosh? I don't know, no. Tosh. So just waiting for somebody else to reconnect. Setup for this first attack will be the same as before, which would be the Charger, Jockey, Smoker, and a Spitter, which we know is very devastating.
All right, military still here. I got a bad feeling about that.
Just going to assign the tank to Sweet Lemonade, aka Hennessy. Everybody readied up, and we're going live. Let's just see if they can get similar damage with that charge spit combination, which is really all they can hope for with this attack. Very late tank spawn. We've got two infected from two different locations, so obviously you want to be doing that. Jockey's going to make his way in first. Charger does get a charge onto Nick there, so there's a bit of spit damage, but not nearly as much as the previous round. Much better job by the team 911 there for shutting down that attack in swift fashion. The witch will be probably be the next attack because they know exactly where that witch is going to spawn, having played first. A Smoker, Jockey, Charger, and a Boomer is up at the moment. We have a witch. We have the Smoker pre-spawned around where the witch is, which is going to be... Jockey is making his way in. He will be shut down very quickly because all four survivors were looking at him. Perhaps a bit of miscommunication there, but we still have the Smoker looking to get somebody. He is shut down very quickly, and there will be a crown, and therefore 25 points. A triple boom there, but obviously no more spawns are alive to capitalize. So they could take this opportunity to run and trigger the tank, but they are actually going to play it patiently and make sure they wear out the Boomer horde. Final spawns will be coming up in 4 seconds. At the moment we have a Jockey, Charger, and a Spitter. Final spawn will be a... So same as the first attack. We have a Jockey spawned up, going for the first guy. He's dead stopped and killed very quickly. Still waiting for the for what the rest of them are going to do. Obviously there's a bit of miscommunication going on. Smoker from the front is going to pull somebody ahead. The Charger gets a nice charge onto Nick as well as some spit damage. So again, looks like Nick, aka Thug Life, is taking the brunt of the punishment, and he may actually have to use his medkit. He is pulled back, and they're not keeping an eye on the back there, actually. Nick is pulled behind, and he needs to make sure he doesn't get hit by this rock, but obviously they're all looking at it. They all focus fire it and kill it immediately. So he, as I suspected, he will be using his medkit, so that is 1 medkit down, and therefore minus 25 potential bonus points if they make it to the... Tank is actually a very far distance away. He's behind because he was probably expecting them to run back to the safe room, but the survivors, interestingly enough, are actually not running back to the normal safe rooms. He's just on this ramp here, trying to get some rocks. All the infected are all spawned up and ready to go. Jockey, Boomer first, getting a boom onto 2 people. That's very impressive, actually. Tank is going to drop it down the balcony. He's going to look for Rochelle in the corner. She's very precariously positioned, so she's going to probably be going down here after a few more punches. Infected are moving in now, but Hunter is cleared off of Coach quickly, and the Jockey is meleeed. He's still alive, and he's just barely dies there. So the tank is going to look to get as much damage as he can at 2,000 health and slowly going down. He's going for Nick inside the cafeteria. He does actually get a nice punch onto him. They need to try and kill this tank before he can get more damage, and they took a lot of damage there. Smoker goes in for some delay, but he is shut down. So, I mean, yeah, they actually dealt with that fairly well. They still have 3 medkits. It just depends on whether they're brave enough to preserve them or not. So far, we have a Boomer and a Spitter. The spawns are a tiny bit staggered, so the final spawn will be in 6 seconds. We have a Charger Boomer Spitter, final spawn in 1 second, which will be a Rocket Boom in the back there, lands onto 1 survivor, and they may look to attack here at this choke point. Charger's moving in, gets an incapacitation, as well as a very nice charge onto Coach there, who is very high HP, so a good decision there. Nice shutdown on the Hunter by Rochelle, aka Muda there. He did a very good job. So only 1 medkit, as I say, they have used most of them. So that 1 medkit, they're going to need to try and preserve it if they want as many bonus points as they can get. Spawns will be coming up soon. So far, only a Smoker will be accompanied with a Boomer, Spitter, and a Jockey. Smokers from the roof are trying to pull into the car. They shut down the Rocket Boomer very well mid-air and doesn't get anybody. Jockey lands onto Nick there, and he's running into Spit, and he nearly incapacitates himself there, but luckily is able to get out there. Spit is going to try and die in front of the safe room because of the proxy Spit, but isn't able to do so, and they will be making it in with more bonus points. So very well played by them. I mean, we are seeing very good play actually by both teams, because I think it's quite typical of this map, because we see the survivors take a lot of damage, a lot of punishment, and they and it looks like it's not going to be good for them, but they actually somehow manage to pull a rabbit out of the hat and just completely obliterate the tank and prevent themselves from all going down. So you have to give credit where credit is due. Both teams played very well, and as you can see, there is a 20-point difference separating these two teams. So as I suspected, as I said in the beginning, I was looking forward to this match for this very reason. There is only a 20-point difference separating these teams. And while we're in here, I'm going to assign the tanks again. Dommy will be tank here. So for the map 2, we are going to see a Dommy tank. And I'm just going to have to wait until the ready up is over so I can see the setup. It looks like a Boomer, Jockey, Spitter, and a Hunter. Ooh. So the best they can probably hope for here is going to be some stumble in the Spit. When the Boomer is popped on a nearby survivor, or basically anything for that matter, even a tank, there will be a temporary stumble where you lose control of your survivor and you move in the direction away from the pop. So what they can do there is they can kill the Boomer in the Spit and potentially stumble them while they're taking damage from the Spit, which is obviously a very lethal tactic. It can do a lot with that. All survivors readied up, and we are going live. So they don't have a Smoker, which generally what the Smoker will do is go behind the broken car to the right of the safe room as you exit. So not the most ideal setup, but you know, it can happen. Boomer's going to be looking to spawn behind the safe room wall there. He's going to vomit through the fence, which is a very good tactic actually, because they're not going to be looking there, most likely. They'll be looking at the Hunter and Jockey. Jockey drops down, tries to get some separation. He is half HP now. The Boomer tries to get Boom, gets the Boom onto 1. There is somebody pinned outside, but the Spit is a bit too premature, and therefore the Spit will not be contributing any damage to that attack. You could also say it was very well played by them for actually baiting out the Jockey, because the Jockey tried to get somebody, but they ran straight back into the safe room, and therefore denied them. You know, they haven't taken much damage. That was a very good shutdown. We have a very open area here and a Charger, so not looking good for the Charger. In terms of this particular choke point, the Charger has to travel a large distance before he can get... Boomer's going to rocket round the corner, gets a successful Boom onto 1. Charger moving in, and is shut down, as well as the Jockey, as well as the Hunter. Nice skeet there by Mudda, which is skeet obviously is killing a Hunter mid-air. So, very well played actually. They seem to have upped their game. And I have just received word that Joken will be returning in about a minute or so. So I will be joined with a co-caster, which will give my voice a tiny bit of a rest. We have a Spitter, Boomer, Hunter, and a Smoker. So in this alleyway attack, you want a Charger, but they don't seem to have one. So a little bit unfortunate for them. looking like they're going to be attacking just as they leave. Hunter wall kicks, trying to get onto Nick. They have some separation, but the Boomer Stumble disconnects. They're still separated, though. Dead stop onto the Hunter. He is shut down. Well, actually, he's mealeed off and then re-pounces back. Some fairly evenly spread damage. Nothing to rave about, obviously. They're still in very good health, but you can't deny that they are making these attacks work to the best of their ability, and it can be quite difficult in open areas, especially. Thus far, for the crescendo, we have a Jockey, Charger, and a Boomer, as well as a Hunter. So we have a Tricap minus the Spitter. Boomer was trying to get a spawn behind that little door. Boomer's pre-spawned above. He's looking to get a boom. He gets a boom onto one again. There's a charge into the corner there, and the Boomer does actually proxy and therefore land onto 4 people there. So a total of 4 people boomed, but they did shut down the attack, so no spawns can capitalize on it. And Joker is now here, so say hello, Joker.
Hello.
Good. So, they actually synchronized the deaths fairly well there, so there'll be a Smoker, Hunter, Charger, and a Spitter. Spitter's looking to just delay them a little bit there by sacrificing the spawn. Tank is now up, which is exactly why they sacrificed it. Hunter's moving in, he turns AI mid-air and ends up dying. So we have a Charger and a Smoker, other spawn coming up in 8 seconds. They're trying to trigger the alarm, or untrigger the alarm. A rock does land onto Coach there, so he's replenished his any rage that he may have lost. Charger gets a nice charge onto the railing there, but nobody falls off as a result. He may be able to get a triple punch, absolutely phenomenal. Again, a triple punch onto 3 survivors, which is brilliant there. Coach is battling with that Jockey in the corner there. The tank is battling with Ellis in the corner. The Jockey is shut down, and the tank is able to incap one person. A phenomenal triple punch again. Well, I'm loving that we're seeing triple punches this often. The Rock, nice movement by Rochelle there. He drops down onto Nick and gets a punch. Gonna try and corner him. Boomer gets a boom onto separated Coach. I mean, they are so separated at the moment. It's not looking good for them. That rock just barely misses, and Coach is just battling with these commons in the corner there. He gets separated by the tongue of the Smoker. Tank is moving in, throwing a rock onto Nick, and will finally incapacitate 2 remaining survivors. 500 HP on the tank. Can he escape before he dies? And he just about does. 87 health, 1%. The survivors are actually, believe it or not, they're in a good position right now because they still have lots of medkits, and everybody is up. Charger is moving in onto Coach. He tries to bait up of the melee weapon. Tongue is cut by hiding behind the corner there. Rock flies in but doesn't actually hit anybody, so the tank is 87 health. Currently on the second pass on 85%. So, I think there was a bit of a team kill there, so that was interesting. So we have the 1 spawn coming up now, which will be a Hunter. The final spawn will be in 10 seconds, so a bit of stagger going on. The tank is going to be willingly passed to AI, which I suppose you can't really do anything about, because no matter what, when that tank goes in, 1 bullet and he is dead. They're just going to save for an attack here. Tank doesn't really know what he wants to do here. He's just kind of climbing up the building. Very interesting. I suppose he is delaying them, so he's probably a bit of a tactical gameplay here by the AI tank. He's not going in, he's climbing. He really wants to climb. He's just loving it. Hunter and Jockey are pre-spawned at the front, while this tank he just does not want to go in. Jockey shut down, Hunter shut down, everybody shut down so quickly there, and the tank, this is just amusing. And there we are, he is shot dead on the roof. He did not want to leave, and we're seeing something interesting here, by the way. Frape actually got 0 damage onto the tank, so they managed to kill with only 3 people shooting the tank, essentially. And there is a Witch, which they can't really prepare for. They don't have a shotgun, but if they focus fire with the Uzi well enough, they can kill it, as you saw there. Charger from in front, getting a scratch onto Rochelle. Nick is so close from being incapacitated there, but they don't manage to actually get that. So, 1 medkit again, same as last round, which they should be able to get in with. Unless the Spitter can incapacitate Coach, he is 1 HP, and when you're 1 HP on temporary HP, your movement speed is non-existent. But he is in the safe room. Ellis is temporarily separated outside the safe room here, but no spawns up at the moment. Final spawn is a Boomer, but is not able to get anything, so they make it into the safe room with 100 bonus points.
Don't worry. Don't worry.
And we are, you know, we're just hoping to dear God that that Team B.A.D are able to survive this tank fight, because it is during the crescendo, which means there's a lot of common infected to deal with. And the tank for this map will be Dark Angel. No, it will not, because he's Survivor. Ignore me. It's Frape. So, as oh, is it Frape? It's not Frape, is it? No, it's Muda. Yep, my bad. It's Muda. There we are. Correction. So, what are we hoping for with this attack then, Joker?
Yeah.
Bearing in mind they have a boomer and a spitter,
I can see the fourth.
hunter and a jockey.
Oh. Well, there's not much to hope for really. There's the spit on the hunter, or stumbles in the spit. Can only pray for a lucky attack, really.
Yeah, it's not the most ideal setup, but they can make it work, maybe with some jockey separation or something like that. Hopefully it will work out a little bit better than last map in terms of the first attack, because they...
How did that go?
I think it was maybe about 20 damage onto one person, and that was a wrap, which, you know, obviously is expected. It's not the best.
Last round on this one, though.
I mean, they did very well actually, Team B.A.D, but unfortunately they weren't able to secure the one with the tank, which is very well played actually by Team 911, because even though they had the crescendo to deal with, they still managed to survive and make it into the safe room with one medkit actually. I ought to add. So just waiting for one final player, Domi, to... What I'm seeing here, actually, is all of the infected are going from the same direction, which I suppose it is a fairly quick attack, so it might not be a problem on this particular area, but everybody going from the same direction isn't always the best idea, because then the survivors can just look in one direction and just shut down everything. So, have to see how it plays out. And we are live. So looking like they have, is that 2 shotguns? Yeah, 2. Rocket Boom heads in onto Ellis. He is stumbled and pounced and spat and common infected are around him. So this is, it looks a lot better than it was, but then the jockey sends him straight back into the spit. Oh, so it actually was brilliant. And the main reason for that being so good was the jockey bringing Ellis back into the spit. So that's pretty much what we talked about, Joker. They actually pulled it off.
Yeah, it was very well done.
Absolutely. I mean, obviously, it was very tunnel visioned onto one survivor, but sometimes you just have to do that. So far, we have a charger, spitter, boomer, and a hunter. Boomer from behind the tree gets a boom onto Nick, so 1 survivor. We have a charger in the restrooms there, as well as a hunter behind the wall. They're going to be looking to attack here. Charger out, moving in. They all dodge him and are immediately out of the way, but Nick is pounced in the spit. And that was a premature spit as well, and he may even have to go down here to the common infected if he's able to clear them, which he is able to, so he doesn't go down. But that was a very nice coordinated attack there in terms of the spit. Actually didn't spit as the hunter landed, he spat before, and still managed to get very good damage there.
Yeah, that's gonna be a medkit gone, for sure.
Absolutely. So we have a smoker, charger, jockey, and a boomer, and it looks like everybody unanimously has decided they're going to go on the bridge above the survivors. Which is exactly what they're all going to do, so we'll have to see who goes in first here, whether it'll be the boomer or whether it'll be everybody. Reloading. Boomer's moving in, getting a boom onto 2 survivors there, very nicely done. A jockey separation onto a non-boom survivor, and a separation smoke. He is right next to the in-cap survivor, so he will be able to use his pistol to clear that. But the separation jockey is still happening. You can see Coach in the distance there. He's being taken for a ride. He's coming into the caravan. So the jockey is very low as well, and he is making this. So obviously Coach went on a little trip there. And And we so far have, well, actually, we have everything. We have a Boomer, Hunter, Spitter. No, we do not have everything. I'm lying. Final spawn coming up in 12 seconds. So Boomer, Hunter, and a Spitter final spawn in 7 seconds. So we do have a Boomer and a Spitter combination for some potential stumbles and potential chaos in the spit, really. That's the best they can hope for with this. Final spawn is a Charger, actually, which is very effective in narrow corridor kind of areas, like alleyways. Boomer rocketing first, he's shut down, they know that's coming. A nice dual cap in the spit here, this is not going to be good for them. One person in caps, one person in spit, and he can't get out of the spit. Coach is going to be incapacitated as well, so Nick and Coach, both incapacitated there, Joker.
Yeah, I'm sure that's gonna go in Thug Life's new brag video. He's built up a quite reputation on YouTube with his videos.
Indeed,
Back from
well.
2008, 2009 in L4D2.
Yeah, he's an old
And
school
he's
player.
still here.
Yeah. Charger from round the corner there, going to look to surprise them. He's spawned up and he gets a charge onto it was nearly all 4 of them
Nice.
with the stump. Very nice attack and a proxy boom onto a total of 3 survivors. This pressure is just relentless. They are not in a good shape here because the tank has not yet spawned and they are in need of a lot more medkits than they actually have. They need a lot more than this, but they obviously no more medkits will be on the map. So all they can hope for is pills.
Yeah, there doesn't appear to be any pills ahead.
No, they have actually taken some already. So tank is now spawned up in the hands of Mud. Boomer vomiting through the fence, isn't able to connect and is shut down very quickly by Dark Angel, aka Nick there. But I'm not sure what's going on here because Dark Angel is on the other side of the fence, which could be devastating if the tank chooses to attack. Because obviously that is a lot of separation there, so I hope he knows what he's doing. Considering it's Dark Angel, he's a very good player, so I'm going to trust that he knows what he's doing. We have a Charger, Hunter, and a Jockey, so no Boomer. We just have a Tri-Cap, and the tank is just throwing rocks from the top. Hunter's just pouncing around, looking for maybe a chance to get a 25 damage pounce. Jockey and Charger are positioned on the roof directly above the survivor. The tank is taking a very long route, actually. He's going over the on the bridge, which he's very far away from the survivors, so he needs to make absolutely sure that he does not pass this to AI. They can break line of sight very easily from... Andy has a large distance to travel. He's on 50% of his first pass. He's going to be making his way in through the corridor. They need to focus fire him now while he's going through the corridor, which they are taking 1,200 damage before he commits. And they're going to attack here with the Charger. A nice stumble there. Tank is missing his first punch, unfortunately. A separation jockey onto Rochelle, but Coach is on that. He's going to try and clear that. 2 people in caps in the front there, so I mean, Coach is not clearing this jockey. He's missing a few shots here.
He cancelled his reload.
So the tank is at 2,500 health. That's actually a very good health number for here. The Coach actually gets hit by the rock there, so it's not looking good. They might actually have to concede this round. Gets the in-cap onto Rochelle there, and he's going to climb over the fence and seal the deal onto Coach if he can before he dies. Coach was reloading at the wrong time there, so ends up getting hit by the car. Excuse me. Boomer from around the corner getting a boom onto 1, and the Smoker's going to complete the round there. Tank surviving on 118 health there, so as we can see there, Sweet Lemonade, aka Hennessy, was incapacitated very early, so he wasn't actually able to do much damage to the tank, which is just unlucky, really. If you're in caps, all you can use is a pistol, and it's not really going to be enough.
No, it's not.
But we are still seeing a fairly narrow gap. You know, the first map, it was a 20-point difference. This is now a little bit over 300, but that is not a significant margin whatsoever. They can easily come back from this, and both teams are showing a lot of competence in their performances. So I'm looking forward to seeing how the next 2 chapters play out. And in the meantime, I will check who the next tank is, which is going to be... It is going to be Frape again. that would be, well, obviously for Team B.A.D. And for these guys, it's going to be Dark Angel. Assigned. The spawns I can currently see are Hunter, Jockey, and a Spitter. I need to wait for the... That's a Boomer, actually. Yeah, that's a Boomer, yeah. So they have a 2-2, which is basically an attack with 2 infected capable of pinning the survivor. Waiting for one more person to ready up, and then we'll be going underway. I mean, I'm guessing just same as before, really, Joker. Just try and get some damage in the spit is all they can really hope for.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really excited now, man. This is some really good infected play we're seeing.
Absolutely. I obviously much prefer to see good infected play over good survivor play, because from a viewpoint of like the spectator, that is very exciting to watch. A little bit more so than good survivor gameplay, although obviously you want them to play well on survivor, but in good infected gameplay, that's what makes these games exciting, and we are seeing a lot of that.
Yeah.
So we have Hunter, Jockey, Spitter, and a Boomer. As I said, Hunter pouncing around. Boomer doesn't get onto anybody. He's too far away. Hunter dead stops and killed. Jockey killed. Everybody killed, and they didn't even take 1 damage from that attack. I think a little bit of... Absolutely, a little bit of friendly fire, I think, onto Coach, but that's just 1 damage. 3 of them are 100 HP there. I mean, that is absolutely textbook perfect. Like, they took no damage and shut down everything perfectly. So that's, you know, that's what you want to do if you want to... So far, we have a Boomer, Spitter, Charger, and a Charger rocketing in. He's going to try and separate somebody. He gets onto Nick as well as the Spit. Boomer lands onto Nick there, and the tank is in the hands of Dark Angel. He's going to be moving the car in. That car's flying in very precariously. That's in a dangerous position. So they're going to need to go under the bridge pretty much instantaneously here. Need to watch Nick there. He nearly gets hit by the rock, but nice cover by the Uzi players there. Not sure why I say Uzi players, because they're all Uzi. We have a Jockey, Hunter, and a Charger, so no Boomer. Tank is still on 100% of his first pass. He's going to be moving that car in. It can be a little bit tricky to land with all these pillars in the way, but it can work equally. Tank is making his way in with that car. He's actually going to skip the car, but they do shut down that rock there. The car is going to be a bit too difficult to hit here, so he's going to try and push them into the car. He still has the car at his disposal. Hunter is shut down, lands a punch, and he's going to try and land the car onto Coach. He doesn't land the car, which is devastating. He tries to land onto Coach. He does get an in-cap. That may actually be the end, though. He's on 1,000 health. Tries to get a rock onto Rochelle. He just barely misses. Tries to get a final punch, and he is down. So he gets 1 incapacitation. And I mean, I'm saying, like, we hope to see good infected gameplay, but I think the survivor gameplay was just too good there.
Indeed, it was. Yeah, they're really showing that they know what they're doing.
Absolutely. Practice pays off. So they have a Boomer, Hunter, and a Spitter. Final spawn in 5 seconds. So they have no separation potential other than the Charger, which is their final spawn. Boomer from the roof. He's going to look to rocket down. He gets shut down before he can vomit. Charger's on the railing there, just completely stops moving, and unfortunately we have a disconnect there. Dark Angel has lost connection, so we will be having our first pause of the game. Which I suppose gives us time to discuss the remaining choke points, really. What other choke points are there?
Well, there's the drop down, the little drop down onto the what is it? The trailer? Yeah.
Yeah, the trailer drop down. Yeah, as they're coming up to it.
And then there's the sewer, and then the ladder, and then the bridge.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, there's a lot of dangerous choke points there. Just got to hope that they are able to make something happen here, because the tank wasn't able to make much happen. He removed a medkit, but you know, you want to be hoping for a lot more on it. Obviously, a little bit of luck played on it as well, because it's very difficult to land the car with all those pillars in the way. He did good to actually land one, to be honest. But yeah, we're just hoping to see that they can use these choke points to their advantage and hopefully slow down these survivors, because these survivors are on a roll. They are full of adrenaline and they are just playing out of their minds. So you're going to need to see some very good infected gameplay to shut down these guys.
Yeah, they're really showing that they want to.
Yep, they haven't come to play, they've come to win.
Oh yes.
But you can obviously Team B.A.D are the exact same. They just need to make sure that they are keeping their cool, because it's very easy to lose morale when something like that happens on the tank. So as long as they don't get discouraged and as long as they maintain the team morale and keep each other boosted, they can make something happen. But obviously it does depend on, is the pressure going to get to them and are they able to keep the morale up?
Are they a full German team?
I couldn't tell you that. I'm not entirely sure. I know Thug Life was...
Thug Life and Mother are East
Yeah,
German.
but yeah, I mean, I don't know about the other guys.
Yeah, no. Gosh, it's not. Okay.
I'm reloading.
So we don't have any spawns at the moment, and now we have a Charger Jockey. Final spawns in 5 seconds. So for the stairs, unless they get there quicker, Charger is looking around the corner there to try and pin somebody. He doesn't get his spawn, and the Jockey is dead stopped and completely shut down. A little bit of miscommunication and staggered attack there. The Charger tries to get some spit combination. He's able to get something, but not nearly enough, really. So we do actually still have the... Oh, that's very unfortunate.
Yeah, it seems like there's some issues on Team B.A.D.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that he got stuck there. He wasn't actually able to contribute to that that attack. So he's had to spectate, which will kill off his spawn and give him a renewed spawn timer. So he won't get his spawn for another 8 seconds, despite the fact that he had one before. So that's unlucky for him. We have a Hunter.
They're still waiting, actually, for that spawn. They knew that was happening.
Yeah. We have a Hunter, Spitter, Boomer, and a Smoker, so no Charger for the sewer. They may actually look to attack. And Dark Angel is stuck again. This is not looking good for him. I'm not sure what's going on here. Maybe some just unfortunate technical difficulties on the side of Team B.A.D on Dark Angel. So he's it's looking like he's moving around. So I think he's unstuck, and we're seeing some good sportsmanship here. The survivors are actually waiting and not pushing forward, so they're checking that he's good sportsmanship. I like to see that. I like to see that they're still being respectful. It's a very good thing to see. It's what keeps it alive, really. You know, you want a respectful environment. The Boomer gets a rocket boom onto one survivor there, but they're not going to really look to attack with this. They're probably just going to look to... With the Smoker, I like where the Smoker's spawning, actually, because he's going to be very hard to see there. The Spitter's going to spit in the doorway to get some delay, and then potentially go down the sewer, which he's going to do. Yeah, the Spitter's going to do that, so I like that. They're going to delay the spawn so they get a full attack here. But the final spawn is not a Charger, it's a Jockey. So the Hunter's going to look to wall kick onto the first survivor. He does so, but there's no Spit to actually follow up from that, so... a bit of stagger going on, unfortunately. The Smoker is unable to get any separation. The Spit will delay them temporarily, but that's a wrap, Joker, for that attack.
Yeah, you really hate to see that.
Yeah, you do. There is a Witch on top in this particular choke point. They're going to hope for something to happen here. They have a Smoker and they have a Jockey, which are very good spawns in terms of distracting with the Witch. Jockey gets a nice Jockey separation there. They're hoping for something here. A Witch gets an instant incapacitation, and therefore they will be denied those bonus points. Boomer is shut down after he gets a boom onto 2 survivors, and the Jockey's just being a nuisance, just pouncing around and trying to delay them. They set off an alarm card, but it won't matter too much because they're already boomed, so a Horde is already spawned. We will be reviving Rochelle successfully. They have 2 sets of pills and 2 people slow. So all they need to do here is just take those pills, or they have actually opted to use a medkit, so they have potential distance points here. Not distance points, excuse me, bonus points. Smoker, Boomer, and a Hunter will be the setup. Final spawn in 1 second, which is going to be a Spitter. Smoker, Boomer, Spitter, and Boomer is shut down before he can land, as well as the Hunter. The Spit's going to spit at the top of the railing there. there will be a horde spawning as a result of triggering the alarm car. Where it is, I couldn't tell you. I don't know where the they're all behind. So all the common infected are all behind, which is very fortunate for the survivors. Actually, they're all just a bit late for work, I would say.
All right.
Which, you know, fire them.
Nobody panic. We're gonna head down and find another way up onto
Jockey,
the bridge.
Smoker, Boomer, and a Hunter will be the attack for here. So they have a tri-cap minus the Charger. Hunter spawned up in the back, gonna wall kick over the fence and land onto. Smoker's gonna smoke onto Rochelle, unable to make anything happen. We still have a Jockey who's gonna go in for some last-minute damage, and he isn't able to get much there other than just a temporary in-cap or temporary cap, excuse me.
Reload.
There is a Boomer alive, but he is the only spawn. So maybe he'll get a boom and they can follow in afterwards if he's feeling brave enough to get a boom onto them without any disruption. But with these in this cemetery, it can be done. You know, if you curve the vomit over, but he's not able to get anything. He spawns up and is completely shut down, as well as the Charger and the Hunter. Just Thug Life, just showing that he is a Left 4 Dead 1 player with the ability to ski. And the Spitter is going to try and get some delay in the safe room. He does successfully get delay, but they still will make it into the safe room.
Yeah, that was a very strong survival.
Yeah, very. I completely agree, and we can see there as well. Thug Life is an MVP on both. Even friendly fire. He's so good at shooting things that he's even shooting his own teammates and getting 54% friendly fire. That's how you know you've got a good player, when you're MVP on the common infected, special infected, and your own teammates. You just don't give a what's it. You're just shooting everything.
Yeah, he can't control his gun.
Yeah, okay, interesting. That could have connotations. I need to check who the tank is, so I will be giving that to the right person. Tank will be... Is it a freight tank again? It looks like it. Yes, it is. Freight will become the tank, and I will... I'm ready up, okay. So same as before, they're going to hope for something out of this. You know, it's not the best setup in the world, but, you know, they are a strong infected team as well as Survivor, so they're going to look to make something happen here. With the Hunter and the Spit, most likely, as well as the Boomer Stumbles, if they can make anything happen. You know, it's very difficult. It's a very open area as you come out here, so they just got to hope that they are quick enough. Just waiting for Sweet Lemonade, aka Hennessy, to ready up here, and we will be going live and seeing how they play this Survivor. I mean, I can't help but ask, like, what are we hoping for from this Survivor team?
Oh, sorry, I was distracted by the sprays in the safe room. What was that? Sorry.
Yeah, no, just, you know, pretty much what Midnight says there. We're just we're hoping for a comeback. Here,
yeah,
you know,
it's totally possible.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna say the game's over, because it's not. You know, they can still make it with a good bonus point. Yeah, as long as they play well, though, as long as they play well enough to make it with a few medkits, potentially. This tank, if you play it properly, it is possible to actually shut it down without taking very much damage at all, as long as you use the pillars well enough. Survivors are slowly moving out. Jockey moves in first. He's going to be shut down and dead stopped. Nice shutdowns. That's what they want to see. Absolutely perfect again. You know, both attacks on the first attack, 0 damage on the board, apart from 1 damage onto somebody.
Yeah, you can't count them out. They're really here to play.
Yeah, that's what you want to see. Ellis is not moving in the back. He's starting to move. He's freezing a lot. I'm not sure what's going on there. Tank is now spawned, and as I say, it will be in the hands of Frape. We have a Hunter, Charger, and a Boomer for the support on the tank. Tank is going to be looking to try and get the car in, which he maybe not the best first hit there. He's going to struggle with that a little bit, because there is a very low skybox which the car is actually going to hit off of. He's just making it work. There's a Charger moving in, getting a temporary charge onto L. Boomer is a bit too far away from anybody, and therefore is unable to successfully boom people. And I mean, that's probably the be-all and end-all of the tank fights. If you boom 2 or more people, then the tank has a much easier job. in terms of going in, but they weren't able to get anybody. Moving the car in, but obviously they're just going to push him here. He's not able to get this car in a good position. It's in a decent position now. Actually, no, it's not. It's on the lorry. He's moving in, getting an initial punch onto Rochelle, but he's already half HP. The spawns are going to need to come into, and he lands a rock. He's going to be chasing Coach down. Coach is so separated here. Smoker's going to be shut down. There's a jockey behind going on to Rochelle. She notices, dead stops, and will kill him. There's one person slow, which would be Domi, aka Coach. They're going to surround this tank and try to kill it. It's on 1,000. Oh, it's on 500 HP. It took a fat lot of damage there. But obviously, they they're still in better shape than their previous team, so they still can make something happen here. The tank is very low. He's unfortunately for them, though, he's on his first pass, so he can play this quite slowly. They just have to make sure they don't get hit by any rocks, because otherwise they'll replenish his frustration. Boomer successfully lands onto Coach there, and a smoker onto him as well. Charger moving into the guy on the stairs there, but he is not able to make anything happen. Both spawns moving in. The rock's gonna... Oh my goodness, did you see how clutch that skeet on the rock was by Sweet Lemonade?
Yeah. I think the first rock actually hit the stop sign.
I mean, that was inches, maybe an inch away from hitting him there, and he just pulled out a last-minute shot there and stopped himself from getting hit, so that's very well played. And because of that, the tank is on his second pass, and he's not high enough HP to actually go in, so he's just going to delay as much as he can. He's just throwing rocks over there. 404 HP, or 404 health. Charger moving in on the stairs there. He successfully connects, but is shut down. And they did a good job there to watch the rock, actually, because all of them were boomed, but they still managed to see the rock, which is very important. You're watching out for rocks, especially when you're boomed. Car is moving in. It's in a good position, but obviously he can't make anything more happen because he's very low. Rochelle's needs to be careful there. She does actually shut down the tank before he can land that rock. So, same as the last guys, one medkit down, so they're in a pretty much identical shape to their predecessors, the previous team. So, gonna have to see what happens. The tank died, and therefore he will have a respawn timer, which will be freight on 7 seconds. Spitter, Boomer, and a smoker is all they have. They're not really the best setup so far. Boomers tries to get through, but they shoot through the shack there and actually end up completely obliterating the Boomer before he can connect with anybody. So you see this, Joker, they're actually, they're really pulling out the plays here.
Oh yeah, indeed. You can never count them out.
Hunter is waiting ahead, probably going to look to get a silent wall kick onto the unsuspecting survivor. Rochelle's on the window there, gets pulled out, and there's a Hunter trying to get the guy up top. Oh my goodness, Domi. What a play by Domi there. AKA Coach, managing to actually shut down that Hunter. And I have to say as well, Domi was completely separated and managed to get a one-shot kill on that Hunter, so very well played. So far we have a Spitter, final spawn in 8 seconds. Spitter and a Charger and a Boomer, so actually a decent setup for the sewer if they can set up in time. Probably going to look to pre-spawn here and potentially... Actually, no, I don't know if they're going to, and the reason why is because there's a witch ahead, and they have a very good setup for her, so they may... Boomer lands onto one person on top there. She's up on top for a very long time. They're very lucky that she wasn't pinned up there, and they weren't planning on that.
Yeah, that could have ended really bad.
That could have been absolutely diabolical for them, but luckily the infected were not prepared for that, so, a little bit of luck on their side.
A bit of miscommunication from the infected.
So we do have the Charger who's going to look to charge. He ends up charging and just stopping on the ladder, so he was hoping to charge into the Witch, but he wasn't able to. The Spit is now down, so they don't have to worry about a charge-spit combination. They probably want to go up and try and shut down the Witch now, which they are doing just that. Smoker's going to be pulling somebody into the Witch, which will be Nick. The Witch kills the very nice remote crown, very nice dead stop. They're just very well played by Dark Angel, aka Nick there, and they're doing better now because they actually have awarded themselves the bonus point for the Witch, which this previous team did not get. So they're playing really well. So far we have a jockey, and they're already up at the ambulance. Great pace as well. They're really keeping the pace up and just running through this map when they know the spawns are down, so very well played, like I keep saying. Boomer, Smoker, Jockey, and a Charger, so a very devastating setup for this particular choke point. We have two people from back. Smoker spawning up, trying to get some separation. They cut the tongue, but the Charger is going to charge that guy back, and unfortunately that's a wrap for Rochelle. If she cannot get down. She gets smoked. Oh my goodness, what is going on? Very well played by the survivors, actually managing to stop Rochelle from dying there. She really needs to drop, though. Wow, we're seeing some very clutch plays here, aren't we, Joker?
Yeah, that was actually a beef on the... he positioned himself... he didn't go right up to the survivor for the insta-pull. He let himself get really sadly.
Yeah, I mean, just
It's
so
the
many
nerves
clutch...
of the tournament, man.
I mean, we saw the very clutch skeet by Domi, stopping herself from getting killed and separate. Everybody moving in now from similar directions, so they all know where to... Charger lands onto Coach and Hunter onto Ellis, but the Spitter was killed before she could spit, so... There we have it. I mean, honestly, such great gameplay on the Survivor side here. Nick is slow, but he's not going to be looking to take those pills. They want to just keep everything, really. You know, they're not going to use anything unnecessarily. We have a Boomer, Smoker, and a Spitter, so they can get one final attack here. Spitter's going to spit in the doorway. Boomer is shut down, but the Spit will successfully separate. But the Smoker is now down. Final spawn will be a Jockey. And can't really do very much, to be honest. He's going to see what he can do. He's going to get dead stops and then shut down. And the survivors are going to make it, actually, in pretty good shape.
Very good shape.
Yeah. Well played by them. So they're keeping the gap as minimal as they possibly can, which is, 300. That's nothing. They can do this easily.
It's the same as the last round, wasn't it? Map.
Yeah, I mean, give or take maybe 50 points. But yeah, 300 difference. So, the thing is that their survivor gameplay is absolutely brilliant, with, I would say, potentially a tie between Dark Angel and Domi being the MVP there in terms of the clutch plays, but this is my opinion anyway. But overall, very good survivor play, but slightly lackluster infected gameplay, which also obviously could be down to the fact that Team 9/11 are just very good.
I think they both teams played very well as teams, really. I don't know if they came down as much to one specific player, I think.
We are going to be seeing another Domi tank here, so I'll just quickly deal with that. Right, so let's just see how they can pull this off. They're going to be looking for a very good infected round, which means they're going to hopefully get a kill. They need to kill the survivors before they make it to the safe room, because that 300 bonus, that 300 deficit, you can't really come back from it very easily, because the further they get, the more they're going to increase that deficit. And if they make it to the safe room, it's likely going to be a wrap for them. So obviously that's a lot of pressure, and they're going to hope that that they don't let that get to them. Just waiting for Tosh, the last person, to ready up, and we'll be good to go. We do have a Charger, Smoker, and a Jockey, as well as a Spitter. So this is a good setup if they can make this work. With the Spitter and the Charger, fairly obviously, we've seen how that can work. And Smoker's going to be pre-spawning ahead. Tries to get some separation. Charger moving in, does not connect with anybody, and unfortunately that may be a wrap for the attack. Jockey tried to get Muda, aka Ellis, into the Spit, but was unable to do so. So that will conclude the attack, with not very many points on the board and only not a lot of damage, maybe 20 or so, or even about that. So well shut down by the survivors. The infected are going to be hoping for a little bit more of a devastating attack than that. They so far have a Spitter, Smoker, Boomer, and a Charger, which arguably is a very good setup for inside here. So the Smoker is already spawned, actually. I wonder what they're going to be doing here. The Smoker's going to try and pull somebody there. Could have been a misclick, actually. Boomer drops down and gets popped immediately. They need to really get their act together here if they want to win this. Charger is unable to connect with anybody and is therefore shut down, and the Spitter, because of that as well, wasn't able to get much damage. So they really need to get their act together here if they want to win this. It's not a big enough deficit. They really should be trying their best here. There's a Jockey and a Smoker. Final spawn will be in 5 seconds, so they have some separation potential. Will they get spawns in time, though? The survivors are moving very quickly. There is a Charger who's going to be inside. There is a Boomer in the window, probably looking to get somebody there. He's not able to get spawned, though, so they could actually be saving the attack for a little further ahead, which there is a witch ahead, actually, come to think of it. Jockey is pre-spawned up, and he's going to try and deny them the chance to actually crown the witch. So the Infected are going to be looking to attack with the witch, which is a very smart idea, considering they need to use everything they possibly can. Ellis is looking to trigger that witch. I can see him there. He's looking for it, and he does trigger the witch. In they move. There's a separated survivor on the top there. If they can get him, which they do, that could be devastating. And an in-cap. Perfect. Absolutely brilliant. This is what we want to see here. The jockey's looking to cover there. He does a good job with covering there. So look at the damage on the board already. And minus 25 bonus points as well. Very well played, wouldn't you say, Joe?
Yeah, very well disrupted by the smoker and the jockey.
Absolutely.
And
that's what we...
Very cheeky boomer.
Indeed, I mean, they got some very good separation there, you know, with the smoker and the jockey cover, so just absolutely great gameplay, which, we want to see this, because they can... We have a Spitter, Boomer, Charger, final spawn is a Hunter, so we have a Tri-Cap minus the Spitter. A very good setup for this rooftop, actually, because the Charger can charge off. Boomer tries to get a rocket, but he gets caught, and there's 18 damage pounds by Dark Angel there onto Coach. Very well played there, so that's going to be a chunk of his health eliminated very quickly. Or was it 19? Yeah, 19 damage, very well played. Pounced at just the right time. So we have a Spitter and a Charger. The final two spawns will both be up in 7 seconds. So they still have a Spitter and they still have a Charger for this kind of corridor balcony area. Obviously it's very narrow, so the Charger can get some stumbles if he plays it. Boomer from below only manages to connect with one, unfortunately. Charger moving in, he drops down though, he's not able to get there. Jockey moves in onto Coach for some temporary separation, he's now slow. So, you know, they're making some things work, but the Charger was just a bit unfortunate there, not able to clip onto the balcony, and therefore was just on the floor, and he got shut down before he could do anything. Still have a smoker, mind you, and you know the smoker in this particular choke point is very, very deadly. We do have a pause by Team B.A.D. What we're hoping for here is pretty much the smoker to delay them, really, because they may actually be looking to move forward. Then again, the tank has not spawned yet, so they're probably not going to want to spawn the tank while the horde is up. I mean, you know, I'm hoping that they're gonna make this choke point work, because they've already managed to get somebody on temporary health, and they've already managed to get somebody slow as well. And Frape, aka Nick, is also very close to being slow. So what they want to do is just keep the damage coming in, so they can force the medkits out, because they want to reduce as many bonus points as they possibly can, and also make the tank's life a bit easier as well. Because if they have lots of medkits and heal up, you know, they'll all be fast. So what they want to do is get rid of those medkits and make the tank's life a lot easier.
The tank is kind of spawning during, I mean, in this area, right? It was a 66%.
Somewhere around here, yeah. Most likely they're gonna be coming to this part
Yeah,
where they currently.
66%.
Yeah, we're probably going to be looking at a... Well, I say a crescendo attack, but what I mean is just where the crescendo is. There won't be any horde, because they're going to clear it before. But nonetheless, I mean, it's kind of a hit or miss area, really, because obviously you've got dumpsters, but you've also got trees and pillars and all sorts, you know, the poles on the balcony. So it's really up to the support. If he wants to play with the hittables, he really is going to want a jockey or a smoker to kind of pin them in an ideal situation, so he can then get the dumpster onto.
Yeah, this is gonna come down to the SI for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a very difficult tank to play by yourself. You really have to have a good setup and a good support. Well, a good supporting attack, so the tank can clean up after that. Because as you can see here, there's a lot of high ground. There's a lot of objects to use to dodge a hittable. So it's really just down to the supporting infected. Obviously, we are on the 4th map as well, the final map. So, you know, pressure is high, blood pressure is high, heart rate's high, all of that. You know, they're all going to be feeling it. So they ought to laptop's touchpad. Well, I don't think that would be entirely ideal playing on that. Playing on a touchpad. Can you imagine how difficult that?
Yeah.
Can you imagine though playing on a touchpad? Like just how difficult that would be.
That would just never work.
I mean, it kind of makes you tempted to actually try it as like a dare. Oh god, yes, a steering wheel. That would be even better. I just remembered, yeah, because back in the PlayStation 2 days when you had like a steering wheel controller for the racing games. Oh, those are the days. Those are the good old days, right?
Yeah.
So we have a.
Sadly, this is not a racing game. It's like
Yeah, I mean, obviously that. Yeah, not a racing game. Therefore, may not be the best idea. But you know, it kind of as a dare, I think that could be quite funny, really.
maybe one of them is playing with a steering wheel.
You never know. Hunter moving in as well as Smoker. Smoker gets some separation. The spit successfully lands onto Rochelle. Every single one of them are going to jump down there. 2 up and 2 down here. Thug Life is slowly ticking down on his health, aka Coach. And so is Mudda, because obviously he's ticking down automatically because he's been incapped. He's on temporary HP. Smoker's looking to pull somebody down again. He does pull Ellis down. He's being an absolute nuisance, that Dark Angel Smoker there. So we have a Charger and a Smoker. We have another Charger, so they haven't actually made it to the tank yet, and they're still taking a lot of damage. So they're going to hope to preserve a little bit more of their health. There is a Smoker, on the roof. He's delaying them a lot. He pulls Rochelle, but obviously not a lot's going to happen from that. Hunter moving in for Rochelle on the stairs there. Charger moving in as well. Gets a charge onto Rochelle and a pummel. That's a lot of damage. You see the damage is building up here, Joker, on the survivors.
Yeah, that's one medkit gone, but I think Thug Life wants to hang on. No, he healed.
2 medkits gone. This is what they want. They want to keep the pressure up and they still have a smoke. And I like what the Smoker's doing. This is very unconventional, actually, because normally the Smoker is a lot closer to the... yeah, she's shut down there, unfortunately, but I like the unconventional Smoker spot. That actually completely threw them off there. They didn't know how to deal with that. Charger moves in, tries to get somebody, but the propane tank is shot right in his face there. So far, they only have a jockey. Maybe he can get some separation again if they want to keep the pressure up, but obviously by himself he'll get shut down very quickly, so he might not be looking to do that. Hunter, Spitter, and a jockey is what they have now. Final spawn in 3 seconds, so Hunter's going to be looking to move in onto Coach there, who's very separated. Can they get him? They get him with the jockey and in cover by the Hunter, and then a smoke into the spit again. See, this is what they're doing. They're keeping
you got
the
a get
pressure
up
up.
animation in the spit from the pool.
Yeah,
That was
that's
very well played.
absolutely, like that could be another medkit potentially. The tank is now up, and as we said, it's a dom. Car is moving in, and in a good position as well. If the tank can make this happen, also going to be looking to move the dumpsters in, so the tank has plenty of options here. But the dumpster's not playing ball, and that's a nice little hit there actually. No, it's not a good hit because this dumpster is in the tree. Oh dear, that's not what you want. You don't want that. So we have a Smoker, Charger, and a jockey. They need to make sure they can get the support right. Tank is moving onto the roof, taking 700 damage and going to be throwing some rocks. Smoke tries to get separation. Everybody's moving in now. Jockey onto Ellis there, who falls down. Charger's going to move to the guy on the top and gets a scratch and a pummel, which is a total of 20 damage. The tank is 5,300 HP, 89%. Not bad, but they are going to break line of sight now, so the tank is at 60% of the first pass, and the tank will be looking to reposition here to keep the line of sight and throw some rocks from directly above the survivors. Still slowly ticking down though at 35%. Needs to try and land some rocks here to replenish that if they want a chance here. There's a Smoker, Jockey, and a Boomer. Good distraction potential for the Boomer, which is going to come down to the Boomer in this attack. They need a Boom. Boomer's rocketing in. He gets caught on the lamppost and can't land on anybody. That's so unfortunate.
No, he got stuck on the dumpster.
Oh, the dumpster. Oh, that's even worse. Oh dear. Yeah, tank is up top, throwing some rocks. Still on the first part. Not able to connect with anybody yet, though. There's a separation Smoker onto Coach, which will get some damage. You can see, if you press tab, though, you can see they're not on the best health. Some of them are actually quite low and close to being incapped. And with only 1 medkit and 1 pill, well, not 1 pill, 1 set of pain pills.
1 pill.
Just 1 pill, that's all that you're allowed. There's moderations now.
Yeah.
4,500 health on the tank. He's going to be looking to He nearly lands a rock there, but a nice last-minute skeet by Muda. Boomer rockets in, but it's shut down again. They're sending the Boomer in first, which is not really the most ideal thing. That rock so close to hitting Ellis there. I'm so disappointed that didn't hit. It's very unfortunate. The tank is still keeping line of sight though, you know, and it's just going on to the second pass now, so may have to go in here soon. They're not able to make these boomers work. The boomers are going into the boomers need some distraction if they want to land. The smoker's just causing some mayhem, just pretending to try and smoke somebody. The tank is on 4,300 health. They don't have a boomer now, they have a smoker, jockey, and a hunter, and they're just on top, still throwing, trying to distract here. The rock is skeeted very well as the smoker is shut down. Well, obviously the smoker wasn't skeeted, but he was completely annihilated. 50% of the second pass. The tank is probably going to have to go in here, which is looking like what the tank's going to trying to maintain line of sight, but obviously 63% health and ticking down slowly but surely, so they're going to hope for something. The rocks are being shut down very well. They're going to try and get the cars and make something happen as a last-ditch attempt. But obviously there's so many things you can use to dodge. The boomer gets a boom onto one, so finally a successful boomer. And a nice pounce onto coach there, but can anything happen from it? Punched a bit too early there because of the god frames, so Thug Life, aka Coach, nearly went down. Tank is on 10% health. It's not looking good. Charger moves in, and they're not in the best shape, to be honest with you. But neither is the tank, which obviously is very unfortunate. That rock nearly landed. Actually, I don't think they were expecting that. Jockey and a smoker. Jockey moving in. Rock is not able to connect with anybody. 95% of the first pass at 600 health. So you know. Just have to see what the tank can do here as a last-minute attempt. Separation smoker onto Ellis is successful. The smoker manages to survive, but no rocks landed yet. There is a boomer. The boomer may be looking to rocket here. They're not actually looking at the roof, so it could... Actually, no, come to think of it, Nick is going to be watching that roof, so need to be careful of this. Separation attempt there. There's a boom onto one survivor, which will be Nick. Hunter moving in for Coach. Nice damage onto Coach there, and could they get a rock as well? They may be able to here. They get a rock. Very well played. They land a successful rock onto Thug Life, aka that's what they want. You know, they're just going to want to keep the damage trickling in, but the survivors are making a smart decision to push here. Can they land the rock onto Rochelle? Just barely missing there. That's unfortunate. So the survivors are going to be inside. They know the tank is low, so they're not in any danger being in close quarters. Equally, when the tank is up, there is no spitter, therefore they don't have to worry about that. Jockey's going to be moving in. They've used all their medkits. Smoker moving in too. Shut down. Charger successfully lands, but will be shut down quickly. The tank is AI. Will be moving in now. Probably won't manage to get anything because the tank is quite low. They're going to be shooting and killing that tank. So, I mean, the infected did very well. They got rid of all the medkits and all the pills, but I mean, it just wasn't enough to kill them. They just couldn't make anything worthwhile happen, really. Jockey, Charger, Hunter, and a Spitter, so Tricap minus the Boomer. Hunter's pre-spawned on the roof, looking to try and get a damage pounce here. Goes onto Rochelle, 14 damage pounce onto Rochelle in the back, a separation charge in the front, as well as a spit, so that could be a potential in-cap. Oh goodness, well, I mean, you know, they're making stuff happen, but as there's no tank now, they're maybe going to get 3 attacks at the most.
Reloading.
You know, so it's so unfortunate. They may actually be closing the gap too significantly to actually win here, which is, you know, well played by them. Boomer tries to get a rocket through the doorway, but is shut down before he can land. That's a recurring theme with these guys, actually. The Boomers are going a bit too early. We have a Hunter pre-spawned up. He's going to be moving in from the back. He isn't able to get a pounce there. He's recharging. A lot of spawns shut down there. The Jockey and the Hunter shut down. So final spawn is a Smoker, and what can a Smoker do here, really? I don't think the Smoker's going to really even try anything. We have a Spitter as well. Spitter may look for some last-minute, you know, delay, but that's the best they can hope for here, really.
Get your asses in here.
Which they will do. They will spit into the doorway. They will get some delay. So they're just going to have to see if they can, you know, this is the last ditch attempt, really. The point difference is absolutely Charger shut down by the trusty Katana there. Boomer shut down before she can connect, and that will seal the deal for them. A very well-played Survivor round. Despite the fact that they have no medkits, they still did very well.
Yeah, they did. It was very well played. I wonder if they can actually close the gap, even if they make it medkit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping for a close scoreline. You know, because that's what this game deserves. It has been fairly balanced, and obviously it just comes down to some unlucky... Yeah, it's just unlucky tank fights, really, that have separated these guys. So what am I doing? I am giving somebody tank. Tosh will be tank. So the final tank for this game will...
Reloading.
There we go. So the infected, they'll be looking to get some damage in the spit here, really, with the because it is a tri-cap. There's no boomer, so no stumble potential. Well, I mean, obviously there is stumble potential with the jockey and even the charger as well, but you know, the boomer would be the best option for that. Just have to see how they play. I'm hoping they make the score gap more narrow. I'm really hoping they. Because obviously this is still a chance to learn, still a chance to improve, and you absolutely should never give up. Even if literally you cannot win mathematically, you shouldn't give up. You should still use it as a chance to learn and improve.
Didn't the...
I think your microphone cut out there.
Didn't the other team have a smoker on this attack?
Yeah, there is a smoker there. Yeah, I mean, yeah. So obviously, yeah, ready up, Joker. So they can still, you know, like mathematically they can still win. I'm a bit of an idiot there. I didn't do the math there, but it's going to be difficult, and it's not going to be an easy road. And they need to play pretty much perfectly and preserve like every med kit, get the bonus points from the witch and all sorts, you know. But they can do it. We've seen that they can. You know, they're not a bad Survivor team. They just need to make sure that the morale is up. Like I say, they'll be hoping for some spit damage here. The charger is directly above them on the balcony, so they're going to be having to watch out for that. Charger dropping down, tries to go to Nick in the safe room, but is completely shut down. They try to delay Nick in the safe room there, but they don't successfully do that. Smoker shut down afterwards, so they actually shut down that attack very well.
Yeah, it was very similar to how the other team did it, really.
Absolutely. And I like what Nick did there, using the table to dodge the charger there, because that could have been deadly for him if the spit was following up from that. So
yeah,
far,
we went for the one in the safe room.
Yeah.
Couldn't really follow up on that.
I know, yeah, it'd be too difficult, really. They have a charger, boomer, jockey, and a spitter. Jockey moving in, everybody moving in as a rocket. The charger can't land on anybody, and everybody will be shut down. It looked like it was going to be a good attack, but unfortunately it was not. Very well shut down again, showing themselves to be a strong Survivor side as they progress further forward through this little, I guess, cafe maybe, or bar? Yeah, I'd say it's a bar, and moving into the pool room here on top. No spawns up yet, and we are finally getting the spawns. Smoker and a hunter, final spawn in 1 second, which will be a boomer and a jockey. So boomer, hunter, smoker, and a jockey. So no spitter, but they still have some potential to make something happen here. Making their way through the alleyway. I think that the infected have just remembered that there is a witch ahead, which they will be capitalizing on. Hopefully, for the survivors, not as well, you know, as they did, you know. But obviously, hope for the infected team, they're going to hope for some mad separation here. Ideally, similar to what happened last round, really. What they're probably going to do is just trigger the witch from a distance and then just run backwards and try and kill her that way. If they all focus fire her, then they should be able to make it happen. They're looking to try and trigger her, but they can't quite get the bullet through the floor there. Witch is triggered, and they're all running back at the same time. They may actually be able to make something happen here. The witch is not yet with somebody. Gonna seal the deal with the remote crown. They get the 25 points, and that is absolutely brilliant. That's what they need. Progressing further forward here as they make it over to the crescendo area. They still have the crescendo to deal with, and they still have the tank. So you know, obviously Team 911 are going to have to make these choke points and the tank fight worthwhile if they want to prevent any comeback. Because you can see, if you press tab and see their health, they are all on such good health. They are in very good shape. Jockey, Spitter, Smoker, and a Charger. Very good setup, actually, for the infected side here. Smoker moving in from below, separating Ellis there, getting a nice separation, and a Jockey landing simultaneously. Charger moving in isn't able to connect with any... Oh, he is able to connect with somebody, but the Spit is not connecting with him. So, still a lot of damage, but if the Spit connected, that would have actually been an incapacitation there. So, a little bit unfortunate that the Spit was perhaps maybe a little bit premature. They weren't able to land the Spit onto the charged victim. A little bit of a stagger in the spawn timers as well. 3 spawns coming up in 2 seconds and 1 spawn coming up in 11 seconds. They won't be able to attack for another 8 seconds if they want a 4-person attack. Smoker, Boomer, and a Hunter will be the first 3. The final 4th will be a Charge. Very good setup again. You know, they need to make this work. It's a very good setup. I'm wondering if they're going to send the Boomer in first, because they're not going to be able... He's going to do just that. Very nice Boomer onto 2 survivors there. Hunter going for the guy below. He's dead stopped, but there's another guy going on to him as well. Charger and a Hunter on Ellis, but they're both shut down very well. Very well done there. Smoker, last-ditch attempt. The Smoker is now dead, so there's no potential to actually separate them here. Which they may be looking to trigger the tank, but the previous team tried going to that gate there, but they weren't able to actually trigger it from. Ellis is running forward. He's going to have to be careful here not to get separated. Oh, this is not looking good. They have a Jockey, but he actually gets back to his team just in time. He's a little bit fortunate there, because there was a Jockey around the corner waiting. Jockey spawns from behind, tries to separate them. They don't shut down the Boomer successfully. There's 1 person booms. They need to be very careful. Tank's going to be moving the car in, unsuccessfully on the first hit. The car has now tipped over the edge there and is now in play. The Spitter is alive, and I'm not sure if they're... Yeah, they're gonna be killing the Spitter. They're in decent shape. They need to keep this shape if they want any chance of winning this. There is a Hunter waiting above. He's going to be pouncing down onto Coach as well as a rock. Will the rock hit him? It does not. It hits the railing. That's very fortunate that the rock did not hit him, because nobody was covering that. Obviously, it's very difficult to see where the rock's coming from through that tree, because it blocks the line of sight of the rock very well. Nick is the only person on top, and he needs to be careful he doesn't get separated there. Rock on its way. They're going to be breaking line of sight here, but not very consistently. Ellis is still giving line of sight. They have a Smoker, Charger, and a Jockey, so no danger of a Boomer for this attack. It's still a dangerous strike. The car's moving in. They need to be careful here. The Smoker's down, though, so they're down 1 spawn. They're going to need to surround this tank. The car is not hitting anybody yet, but he's still trying. It does hit Nick. That's not good. They don't want that. 1 person in cap, so the car does hit somebody. There's a Charger separation onto Rochelle. Oh, things are falling apart here. Ellis is now down as well. There's 1 person pinned. Everybody's pinned. This could be it, guys. This is it. Ah, so sorry for Team B.A.D. there. They could have come back from it, but a very good tank there in the end. 700-point difference.
I can't do this on my own. Give me some help.
So there you go, guys. That'll be the finale of that, with yeah, your winners being the Thug Life team, aka Team 911, by 700 or so points. So thank you guys for tuning in. It's been a pleasure casting this game, and it was quite an exciting one actually, fairly evenly matched. And with that being said, from myself, Midnight, and Joker, see you next time.